What did the American native Indians eat? Two of my favorite nutrition authors, Sally Fallon and Mary Enig, published a piece about what the Native Americans actually ate and why they were so healthy. The early explorers consistently described the Native Americans as tall, well-formed and healthy. Explorer Cabeza de Vaca wrote, "The men could run after a deer for an entire day without resting and without apparent fatigue." The Caracawas, a tribe that lived near the Gulf Coast, were tall, well-built, and muscular with amazing physical prowess. Now, American Indians today suffer with a host of diseases typical to the Western world. Now, what changed over the last 2 generations? Well, American Indians were hunters and gatherers. And what kind of foods produced such fine physical specimen? Well, here's a hint. They did not consume a politically correct diet of mostly grains and polyunsaturated fats. The diets of American Indians varied with the locality and climate, but all were based on animal foods of every type and description. Not only large game like deer, buffalo, wild sheep, and goat, antelope, moose, elk, caribou, bear, and peccary, but also small animals such as beaver, rabbit, squirrel, skunk, muskrat, and raccoon. Reptiles including snakes, lizards, turtles, and alligators. Fish and shellfish, wild birds including ducks and geese, and sea animals for those living in coastal areas. Author Weston Price noted an almost complete absence of tooth decay and dental deformities among American native Indians who lived as their ancestors did. TB was non-existent among Indians who ate as their ancestors had done, and women gave birth with relative ease. Now, the basis of the American Indian diet was guts and grease, not waffles and skim milk. The overall fat of animals that the Indians hunted and ate contained less than 10% polyunsaturated fats, some less than 2%. The most prized was the internal kidney fat of ruminant animals, which can be as high as 65% saturated fat. The very same saturated fat that health officials tell us is responsible for all the health problems that plague us, everything from cancer to heart disease, obesity, and MS. Also, animal fats, organ meats, and fatty fish all supply fat-soluble vitamins A and D, which Weston Price recognized as the basis of healthy primitive diets. These nutrients are catalysts to the assimilation of protein and minerals. The Indians abandoned these traditional foods and began consuming processed store-bought foods. Their health deteriorated rapidly. Weston Price vividly described the suffering from tooth decay, tuberculosis, diabetes, arthritis, and other problems that plagued the modernized Indian groups he visited throughout America and Canada. Today, thousands of American Indians depend on the food distribution program on Indian reservations. And what do the participants receive? Well, it should come as no surprise that the commodities are loaded with carbohydrates, very little protein on the menu, and even less fat. And the fat Indians do receive are loaded with trans fats. And these foods are cheap, and the large multinational giants that produce them are equipped with lawyers and lobbyists to ensure that their products are the ones our government buys. Now, the federal government feeds 53 million people per day. And is it any wonder that they're out to cut costs, whatever the consequences may be to our health? Now, even in light of the latest research on the ill effects of excess carbohydrates on the human body, federal agencies have no choice. The National Nutrition Monitoring and Related Research Act of 1990, also known as Public Law 101-445, states that all federal agencies shall promote the current U.S. dietary recommendations in carrying out any federal food, nutrition, or health program. The USDA food pyramid is more than a recommendation. It's a federal prescription written in stone, and it's speeding the death of most, if not all, Americans. If ever someone wanted proof that humans weren't designed to eat grain-based diets, look at the American Indian population. So many of them are battling overweight, diabetes, and heart disease. Addictions are common, yet many Indians have vivid memories of the life before federal handouts, a time when diabetes and other diseases of civilization were unheard of among the Indians. If you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and share this video with someone in need. This is Dr. Lombardo.